Hey there folks, this is GreenYXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Umineko. This is episode 123. In the last episode, we played through chapter 8 of the in-game chapter system, where they were all trying to figure out the epitaph. It was just introduced to the mansion. They put the big portrait up of Beatrice as we know her, and they were all trying to figure out the epitaph. That's all the witches, that's Beatrice, that's Leon and Will, everyone trying to figure it out. So, let's see what conclusion they came with and what the results will be. Chapter 9, The Day the Witch Revived. The last chapter. Is this going to be the last before the tea party comes up and everything? Or is it going to be a longer chapter to end it on? Or will there be more after that? I don't know. Quadrillion. There's only one place you'll find that word on Rockenjima. Gold butterflies flitted from shadow to shadow, dodging raindrops. Unless my memory is mistaken, this is probably the place. It was the chapel. That mysterious building, one of the oldest on Rockenjima, which had been built at the same time as the mansion. It was called the chapel, but not once had Kinzo used it for worship, and the members of the family had never been allowed inside. Odd. There were strict orders that none approach it without reason, and its purpose has always been a mystery. However, all of these mysteries got boring after several decades. At some point, everyone forgot the chapel even existed, and that splendid building passed from the thoughts of Rockenjima's residents. Of course, this had been true for Bito as well. Bito, who hated boredom, had no desire to approach places that humans never went. Her last memory was of the time she went in there to taunt Shannon as she tried to clean. There can be no doubt. That's it. Quadrillion. Bito looked up above the door of the chapel. There was a relief displayed over an arch. English words were written there. You will be blessed only at the probability of a quadrillion to 1. A miracle. So you thought that was the probability of someone solving this riddle? This chapel was built long ago. If there is a device like the one I imagine, Kinzo must have prepared that epitaph riddle many decades ago. He must have been planning to use it as a ceremony for choosing a fitting successor all that time. However, that ceremony is now a ceremony to open the door to the Golden Land and to my resurrection. Ooh, that's brighter. A bit more colour there. When I snapped my fingers, the ground bulged and several snake-like dead trees sprouted up. They twisted around each other to form a ladder, which leaned itself against the door. If my guess is right, there's some sort of device in that relief. I slowly climbed the ladder. Because of the size of the door, the relief was very high up. This close up, it looks much bigger than it did from the ground. Come to think of it, whenever we cleaned the chapel, this relief was the only thing that Genji always made sure he polished himself. I always wondered why he didn't leave something so trivial to the younger servants. I thought it strange, but nothing more. The master treasured this relief, so the head servant cared for it himself. I always accepted that excuse. But now I understand. There must be something in this relief, and Genji polished it himself to make sure that no one else accidentally found out. So I might sacrifice the 6 letters chosen by the key from Quadrillion. The tips of my fingers touched the cue. My fingertips were soon covered with dust. However, I quickly realized that there was something strange about it. Don't tell me this letter... No, it had to be like this. There'd be no other way to offer up sacrifices. Bito grabbed the letter Q, and after lightly playing around with it in various ways, she pulled it out with a slight clunk. Just as I thought. Here's the Q I pulled out. And this part's a wedge. No, it's a key. A key was attached to the back of the Q, and had been stuck into a keyhole in the relief. I see. In that case, I know what to do next. Very good. This Q key is a wrong answer. Enough with you. Bito carelessly tossed the Q key aside. This was the first sacrifice. She kept on pulling out the keys for the 6 letters representing the key. So A will also be sacrificed, and both I's, and then the N at the end. They figured this out during the last episode, didn't they? Now, I only sacrificed 1 L, but unfortunately, there are 2 L's here. There were 2 L's. I didn't know which I should sacrifice. I tried pulling both out, but the keys were of different shapes. So one's the right answer, one's the wrong answer. Well, there are only 2. If I make a mistake, I can just try the other one. Unless messing up sets off a trap that blows up the island, of course. Kaboom! Thinking it a waste of time to sit here worrying, I decided on the rightmost L and pulled it out. 5 letters remained in the word. And now, the first twilight is over. On to the second twilight. On the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the two who are close. The D and R are close. What does it mean to tear them apart? Do I pull them out? But if I do, there will only be 3 letters left. By this point, I was able to make a good guess at what the gouge and kill lines meant. Gouge and kill probably means to turn the keys and take them out. In that case, the parts about going from head to leg must mean staring at the left and going right. Starting at the left. If that's the case, there must be 5 characters left on the board. In other words, tear apart doesn't mean kill. If so, then we can read tear apart to mean putting a gap between the D and the R. But how? Once again, there are 2 ways to do it. Do I remove the D and move it to the left? Do I remove the R, move it to the right? After pondering this for some time, I realised that both choices were wrong. No, that's not right. I've had it wrong ever since I removed that L. A short while ago, I removed the right of the 2 L's. However, if I had removed the left one, it would look like this. If you line it up this way, it's easy to see the next step. Oh, okay, I like this sort of thing. The R gets shifted to the right. This way, all of the letters are spread out evenly. This must be it, but how does the R fit in the I? It's just... I don't know. And this next part is another tough one. Praise my name? It's already clear that this is a word game. Those who remain shall praise my noble name. Just what are the remaining 5 letters supposed to do? Probably change the order to form a word. Yeah. UDRLO. Rollard? Lord, but you. Let's see how it goes. What should be done about these 5 letters? Praise my name. Heh. How can I get stuck after coming so far? How are these 5 letters supposed to praise the name? It's gotta be Lord, right? Praising the name. That man's name is Shurumaya Kinzo. Is the U part of Shurumaya? No, several letters don't match, and there aren't nearly enough letters to make a Shurumaya. One thing is certain, it's gotta be Lord U for Lord Shurumaya, right? My name must refer to Kinzo. Then does the U stand for Shurumaya, after all? Like an initial? Then what do the D, R, L and O stand for? They can't mean Kinzo. Do the R and O stand for Rokkenjima? The master of Rokkenjima, Kinzo? Not nearly enough letters. This riddle left me totally confused. However, there were only 5 letters left. There can't be too many possible combinations of those letters. I could use process of elimination. Thinking I'd play around with it, I pulled out the U. There were 4 letters left. D, R, L and O. My idea that the U stood for Shurumaya was like a heavenly oracle. When I removed the U, I thought of making a word with the remaining 4 letters. D, R, L and O. Those 4 letters spun around in my head, changing their orders, and latched upon a single English word that would serve to praise Kinzo. It's Lord. Yeah! I had absolutely no basis for it. However, it was like a flash of inspiration. I quickly changed the letters around before that flash faded from my mind. Lord U. Yeah, that's what I come up with. Lord. You. Shurumaya. Lord Shurumaya. On the 4th twilight, gouged the head. Oh! It was a key, so it wouldn't have turned if it was the wrong one. But it did turn. I managed to gouge it. I gouged the first letter, the L, with a click, and then pulled it out. Next, the 5th twilight. Gouged the chest and kill. The O was gouged and pulled out easily. Then the R. Next the D. And finally the U. How'd she know the order was just left to right? It worked. When I turned the key of the U, I could feel a resistance, as though some device had been activated. I waited for something to change, but nothing did. However, I'd felt something happen. A secret door must have opened up somewhere around here. Waiting around won't accomplish anything. I've probably done everything I can here. All the letters in quadrillion have been removed. On the 9th twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. So this way, has the witch, have I, revived? The 10th twilight. At journey's end you shall attain to the power of the Golden Land's treasures, once and for the last time. When I stepped down off the ladder and looked around, I immediately noticed a small change. That lion statue. At some point, the lion statue in front of the chapel had turned to face a different direction. How did that work? Did Kinzo plan up this extravagant device back when he first started building on this island? I walked up to the lion statue and stared at it. Other than the fact that it was pointing a different direction, nothing had changed. In that case, is the lion looking at something in particular now? I followed its line of sight and saw another lion statue, and that lion statue had also changed its direction. Interesting. So follow the lion guideposts. As intricate as ever, I see, Kinzo. I wasn't complaining anymore. I felt a bit of respect and awe at Kinzo for setting up such an intricate device and having it go undiscovered for all these years. There were lion statues standing like guardian deities at the entrance and the corners of the chapel. The direction they faced had changed, pointing around to the back of the chapel. There was something there. A path. Was that just a path to the back? Huh. It was no longer a surprise. This was after the contraption with the letters. After being guided by the lions, so when a gaping open secret passageway appeared, with stairs leading down to the darkness below, it wasn't surprising to me anymore. Just so long as they're in like jail cells and a well to be pushed into. So, is this the entrance to the Golden Land, Kinzo? Did you find it? Grandfather's gold? Yes. It took ages and ages, but it had reached the Golden Land. According to the previous games, there was an underground VIP room there, along with 10 tons of gold, right? Yes. After going down a rough stairway, there was a door at the end of a passage. Inside, it was beautifully furnished, a true VIP room. And was the gold all you found there? Yes, at the time. It would be a lie to say that I was not dizzied by the sight of all that gold stacked high. Oh, let's see what happens as soon as she goes in then. Hey. Shiny. Is this real? Or is it chocolate? I lightly touched the pile of gold with my finger. It was hard and cold. I must have imagined that it would crumble like a sand castle if I touched it. Now there could be no doubt. This certainly was a 10-ton pile of gold ingots. Ha! Considering the amount of gold I had just found, I figured I ought to be crying out in delight. I didn't really feel like laughing, but I thought it only good manners to do so in a situation like this, so I forced it out. Because of this, only a few feeble laughs slipped from my mouth. At that moment, even stronger than any delight was a feeling as though I'd entered a place I wasn't supposed to be. I couldn't think of what I should do next, now that the epitaph's riddle had been completed. Then I heard approaching footsteps. It was coming from the stairway I had entered by. Someone was coming. Could it be Kinzo? If he finds out I've been in a place like this, will I get scolded harshly? I thought about hiding and forgetting this ever happened, but my legs wouldn't move. I kept standing there, stunned, in front of the pile of gold, as the footsteps drew closer and closer. The door opened, and I saw who it was. Someone's just stumbled upon it, right? It wasn't Kinzo. Oh, Genji. You. Did you reach this place by your power alone? Indeed. For some time, Genji stared at Bito in silence, as though he was calculating something. Then he slowly clapped his hands together. He did it again, over and over. It took quite a long time before I realized that he was applauding me. The master said that he will hand over the gold and the headship to the first person who solves the epitaph. And he believed that this person would be Beatrice. Beatrice. Me? This is fate. It is fate that brought you to this day. I didn't really understand what Genji was saying. Surely the shock of seeing the gold still had me paralysed. Come this way. Okay. So he can see Beatrice then, yeah? Genji opened a closet. Inside it was a torso, wearing a beautiful dress made of black cloth and golden stitching. When I saw it, I understood immediately. It was the witch's dress. The black dress worn by the Beatrice in the portrait. Changing to this. It is something you once wore. I've never worn a dress like this. However, I understood what Genji meant. This dress was one that Beatrice once wore, and the one who displays a miracle by solving the epitaph is Beatrice. By reaching this room, I succeeded the position of the real Beatrice, the one in the portrait. Why do I call myself Beatrice? Because the name of the Golden Witch who rules over Rockenjima's night is Beatrice. That's right. I wasn't the real Beatrice. I was a different witch, stealing the name of the witch from Kinzo's delusions. And now I have succeeded the real Beatrice. By solving the epitaph's riddle, my resurrection will be complete. I was the one who decided on that rule. However, this really was a ceremony to resurrect Beatrice. In the past, I believed that I could create my own fate with my magic. How ironic that one who could control magic at will would be guided by fate to this place. At that moment, I had no choice but to truly accept and believe in this word called fate. And after I put this on, you will go to the master. Ready yourself. Wait here. Okay. Master, it's Genji. After Genji knocked, the sound of the study's door unlocking could be heard. After a single glance telling me to wait, Genji entered alone. I cannot believe that this day has come. Fate can be such a strange thing. Kumasawa was with us too. I thought this dress, which didn't really suit me, would lead to a lot of jokes, but she didn't laugh at me at all. On the contrary, when she saw me, her expression had turned stern, as though a long-awaited day had finally come. My heart raced. Supposedly, anyone should have been able to solve the epitaph. There shouldn't be anything strange about me solving it. Genji and the others kept wearing serious expressions, and that, along with everything else, made this feel like some sort of grand ceremony. The suffocating silence continued. Eventually, the door opened, and Genji peeked out. Enter. Beatrice-sama. He was saying those words to me, but not to the person I had been until a short while ago. Go ahead, Beatrice-sama. Kumasawa also urged me forward with a respectful bow. Kinzo was probably waiting for me inside. What expression should I wear as I go in? How should I greet him? I don't have a clue. As the two of them motioned me forward, it was all I could do to avoid tripping over my dress as I walked. Kinzo-san, she is here. Kinzo was crouched on the ground, as though kneeling before the portrait of Beatrice. At Nanjo's words, he slowly turned, still crouching. Oh. Kinzo's eyes were already red with crying. When he saw me, he groaned with wonder. Beatrice. Had he even forgotten how to stand up? He crawled over to where I was. While calling out to me with the name of the woman he had loved long ago, I was too stunned to move. Kinzo grabbed the hem of my dress, gripped it tightly, and curled up and sobbed. Beatrice, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I knew how you felt, and yet I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. The words weren't directed at me. However, just standing here like this was all I needed to do. Kinzo's moment of atonement, the moment he had spent half his life searching for, had finally come. A human's life is stained with sin, so humans seek forgiveness while they still live. However, in most cases, the person capable of granting such forgiveness is no longer on this earth. It was like that for Kinzo too. The one he sought no longer existed in this world. Instead, that forgiveness had been woven together by a miracle, and now, Kinzo had received it. Oh, Beatrice, you need not forgive me, you need not say anything. I simply needed to apologize to you just once. Oh. Kinzo kept grasping the dress's hem and sobbing. The sins of humans are not forgiven from without. Forgiveness is found through regret and repentance. I want to believe that some sin, some fault of his, has been forgiven thanks to the way I look. Kinzo's sobbing gradually ceased, and he slowly looked up at me and rose. He looked unsteady. Najo rushed forward to support him. So, I see that you are alive. I'm glad. This time, these words weren't directed through me, but at me. I hesitated, unsure how I should respond. I beg your forgiveness for keeping this a secret from you all this time. No matter. I do not fault you, Genji. Considering the sin that I committed, every single day until now has been necessary for my atonement. However, there can be no doubt that today's miracle is a true one. By her own power, without anyone's help. She solved the epitaph before anyone else. She did have a little bit of help at the start. Well done, solving such a difficult epitaph. Thanks. Indeed, your voice resembles your mother's. Even your face reminds me of that mother and daughter. There can be no doubt that Beatrice's blood flows through your veins. Yes. The traces of the Lady of Kuwadorian in her youth are right there. Does my face look like someone else's? Beatrice-sama, please forgive me for keeping this a secret even from you. Your parents are Beatrice-sama and the Master. What? She's the baby. It's true. Until now, you have been raised as a child without parents. However, your true father is the Master. Of course she is, yeah. And then she was raised as a servant, and then, yeah. It's weird seeing her as a different looking character, you know, from the green-haired one, from the servant, from... your true father is the Master, and your true mother is Beatrice-sama. Is that really... Yes. You truly are a descendant of Beatrice-sama. Is such a strange fate really possible? I've dreamed about it. Dreamed about what it'd be like to be the Golden Witch, Beatrice. But that dream had been mine alone. I dreamed that if I solved the epitaph and carried out its ceremony, I would revive as the true Beatrice. So it's okay to believe that since I've solved it, Beatrice really has revived? I truly carry Beatrice's blood? Yes, there's no doubt of that whatsoever. It must have been hard for you to live until this day without knowing a parent's affection. And yet look at how wonderfully you've grown. So you all knew? About me? Genji, Kumasawa, and even Nanjo nodded wordlessly. Now that I think about it, there might have been lots of hints. I've always felt as though there was something special about me. Genji, and especially Kumasawa, always treated me very kindly. Then does that mean this day is a promised day, which would eventually have come no matter what? I don't understand anything anymore. It's all a miracle from God. A promised fate has led me to this day. Beatrice. No, Leon. That's the name I wanted to give you. It's your true name. Leon. I will now return to you everything that Beatrice gave me. I return to you the gold, as well as everything of the Ashuramaia family, which was created by it. Kenzo stuck out a hand that looked like a rotting tree. On his finger was a ring with a one-winged eagle crest, the symbol of the Ashuramaia family head. He pulled it off, grasped it tightly, and held it out to me. I didn't know what to do. Slowly, as though they were being drawn forward, I held out my hands, palms up. After pressing his fists against my cupped hands, Kenzo slowly opened his hands and let the ring drop. Leon, my child, all the ways your fate has been toyed with until today were caused by my sins. Please forgive me. You will now inherit my ring. You are the new Ashuramaia family head. All of that gold belongs to you. I ask that you use it as you please, and hope that it will be enough to heal some small part of the pain you have suffered. That trifling amount of gold may be nothing in comparison with the sin I committed. But even so, it should be enough to bring you some comfort. Thank you. Leon, I have one final request. What's that? Could you call me? Sorry, what did you say? Could you call me father? I understand why you are not able to. I have not been a father to you in any way. Furthermore, you have been raised without knowing anything about a father. I realise that it's not a name you can call me by, and I realise that I have no right to ask this of you. But even with that in mind, please, if I could just hear that, I would have no further regrets. After being asked like that, could I possibly have refused? Even if I am his child, I truly cannot acknowledge him as my father. So it felt very strange to say it, and yet I decided that saying it was the right thing to do. Only God can truly forgive sins. But though it may be temporary, people can be saved by the forgiveness of others. Yes. Father. That awkward word made Kinzo laugh. Drops of silver fell from both of his eyes. At that moment, the shadow that had covered his face was wiped away. Thank you, Leon, my child, and Beatrice as well. Thank you for this last chance to ask for forgiveness. Of course, I don't believe that I have been forgiven by this alone. I shall atone for the rest as I burn in the fires of hell. I assure my Kinzo have no more regrets in this life. None at all. No regrets or matters left unfinished. He's done. Looking up to the heavens, Kinzo spread his arms as though facing an applauding audience, laughing at the top of his lungs. It was the final pleasure, known only by those who have been released from all regrets of this world. Kinzo's laugh weakened, and when it disappeared, he dropped to his knees, like a puppet with its strings cut, and slowly fell to the ground. Is that him dying? Master. Dr. Nanjo. Yes. Though the master had fallen, they walked up to him slowly. They already knew. Kinzo's soul had already burned itself out. After checking Kinzo's pulse, Nanjo shook his head and stood back up. It was a peaceful death, so this is where he dies then a couple of years before, like 2 years before the incidents. I don't think he had any regrets at all. It may be that the master died long before now. It was only his magic and tenacity that kept him here so long. And he finally had a chance to apologize to Beatrice-sama for everything, and finished everything he had to do. Please, rest in peace. I believe that you have redeemed yourself. Father. That was the one-night reunion between me and my father, and also our final farewell. Oh. Back to the gold. This gold all belongs to you now. If you wish to exchange it for money, I can arrange for that. I hear it's worth 20 billion yen. From here on, any of your dreams in this world can be granted with money. Oh, it must be tough to think of what to do with this much money when it suddenly comes your way. There is nothing I desire among the things money can buy. So for the present, I would like to leave this here. Of course, I'm glad I have a lot of money. However, money can't heal the pain in my heart. I just want him to come back. As you wish. Then it shall be left here. Also, take this key. What's this? It's a key to the underground VIP room. If you use this, you won't need to use that entrance contraption. She was the only one who knew the answer to the epitaph's riddle, and the only key to this place was now hers. At this point, she truly was the master of this golden VIP room. You're already the master of Okanjima. You have the right to know all of this island's secrets. We should talk about Kuwadorian too. That's the mansion your mother lived in. I'm sure you've heard rumours about it. Kuwadorian. There are 2 mansions on this island, one at either end. One's the mansion we know well, the other is a hidden mansion known as Kuwadorian. Below this island are the remains of a military base built during the war. The master used that to travel between the 2 ends of the island. There's an underground path in the back of this room, and if you follow it, you will reach the basement of Kuwadorian on the other end of the island. That is a secret mansion, which only the master knew of. Of course, that mansion also now belongs to the new head. It's the mansion your mother lived in. It will probably be worth taking a trip over there sometime. My mother. I've lived alone my whole life. The only person I've ever felt like calling mother is Kumasawa-san, who always helped me out. So there's a mansion where a mother I've never met nor seen lived. Who exactly am I? Ask any questions you wish. You now deserve to know everything. Right now, I'm feeling very confused. I don't even know where I should start asking questions. But I'm sure I'll think of plenty of things to ask about. Well, I have a question or two. Was she real all along, just hiding around in the mansion? As the baby grown up? When I do, please tell me. As you wish. Also, being treated so respectfully like that is a bit uncomfortable. I'd be happier if you could talk to me the same way you've always done. If that's what you wish, then I will do so. Oh, that's easier for me too. Well now, what will we do now, Genji-san? Kinzo-san's dead. I'll tell Crow-sama and Madam that he has passed away. Then we must tell them that Leon-sama is the official successor to the headship. After all, from this point forth, you are the Ashuramaia family head. Me as the head? Isn't Crow-sama the successor? The one who solves the epitaph's riddle is the successor. There exists a will specifying this much. The Master's final order was that you were to inherit everything. Please wait. I appreciate the sentiment, but I can't do the job of being the successor. I can't accept such a big responsibility. I think it would be better for Kraus-sama to inherit that role. You certain? Today, I've learned who I am. Everyone knows about their parents, but I didn't since the time of my birth. And here today, I finally learned the truth. That alone is enough for me. If I suddenly become the Ashurmaya family head, how would Kraus-sama react? How angry would Madam be? I don't want to become the head if it means making them feel like that. Today I learned who I am. Who gave birth to me, how and when. These are things I want to learn from them as time goes by. That alone is enough. I am Leon, and I am the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Knowing that is enough for me. I don't plan on calling myself the head. Kraus-sama can take that job. Is that your order as the Ashurmaya family head? Yes. As you wish, Master. Then I will make it so. And please don't tell anyone about what happened tonight. I want to stay me. There's nothing I'd want to do with the Ashurmaya headship or the gold. I want to wait here on this island as I have done in the past. I want everything to be exactly the same as it was. That's my only wish. As you wish, Master. Everything that has happened tonight will not go beyond those present here. Kumasawa? Dr. Nanjo? That's the wish of the new head. If that's what you want, I have no objections. Kenzo-sans will entrusted everything to you. If this is what you want to do, none of us will complain. You say exactly the same as it was. But you really mean exactly the same? With no differences at all? Yes. We'll keep this a secret. This place and the gold will be sealed away. If I need money, I'll ask you about it then. That's enough for me. As you wish. The device leading to this place and the key both belong to you. And all of us swear to keep the events of this night a secret. Kraus-sama will be the successor. But in my heart, you will be the only true successor. As you have ordered, we will behave the same way we always have. But please order us whenever it suits you. You are my only master. Thank you very much. A vast mountain of gold, and the ring of the Ashurmaya family head, the dress of the portrait Beatrice, and I became the true Beatrice, the Golden Witch, right here in my very own Golden Land. If I think about it, not much has actually changed. After all, I've always been the Golden Witch. I've just had a few more people acknowledge that. November 29th. The day I became a true witch. Oh, I am one yet many. I am the Golden Witch, Beatrice. The true ruler of Rokkenjima, and the possessor of endless gold. And yet, I am in no way complete. I await the return of the one person I love. She wants Battler back. Is that going to be in this arc? I feel like things are wrapping up. But there might still be more, you never know. Ooh, there is still more, it's not going credits and stuff. Okay, that's where we're going to end off for today. I think. Let's see what shows. That's staying there for a while. Yeah, there's going to be more. Okay, so with that pretty big plot point, this has been Greeny XI. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit when we check in on Will and everyone by the looks of it. That's going to be the end of the story, so it is just going to be like an epilogue to a story, is it? To the arc, probably. I think the next episode's going to be the last of the main story for this arc, and then we'll do the tea party. It might just be like 2 episodes left, maybe 3, for this arc, and then we'll have all of the last arc to do at some other time. So, it's been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit.